Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to start a Microsoft Teams series, and in that series I'm going to discuss about the network planning. Like this would be the first lecture in this Microsoft Teams series, and we are going to discuss on this one network planner tool, how we can leverage the network planner tool on the Teams admin center to see, like, let's say we have this much users on this location, this much users in this location. So what would be the bandwidth requirement, like whatever we have and what is needed? We are going to discuss about all those things in this particular lecture. So first, what we are going to discuss in this network planner thing is what is network planner, what's the overview of network, how we can add the network plan, how we can create personas, and then we will be able to add sites to your network plan, and then we will create and analyze report output as well. Right? That is what we are actually going to discuss in this particular lecture. So first is, what is network planner? Network planner is, it usually helps you determine network requirements for your organization. Like let's say you have a 1 Gbps link or 500 Mbps a WAN capacity link, or you have an internet link capacity link as well. Let's say that is 250 Mbps or 400 Mbps. So based on the users you have in your different locations, it will let you know how much bandwidth this Microsoft Teams requires. Whether you have a bandwidth more than the prescribed limit, or I can say more than the recommendation, then that's good. If the bandwidth is not accurate, or I can say if the bandwidth is not as per the standard, then you need to increase the bandwidth requirements. Right, that is what we are going to actually discuss. This network planning this is available only in Teams admin center actually. Okay, so now in this particular lecture, I'm going to discuss about this overview of my network. That is, like, we have Bangalore headquarter, and then Pune, and then I have this Hyderabad location, right? In this particular Bangalore headquarter, this is my main location, and it would comprised of 1,000 employees, and 25 of them are calling only. That means out of 1,000 employees, only 25 will be using the calling only feature, right? And this particular site, because this is my headquarter, so this site is connected to internet, and there is a local PSTN connection as well, right? So this is actually, I can say this is connected to internet, and there's a local PSTN. And for the calling purposes as well, we have direct routing set up to use local connection with our Teams application, right? So we have 25 employees who will be able to make calls, and we have total of 1,000 employees in this particular headquarter, that is Bangalore HQ location. Then we have another one, that is Pune location. This is a branch location. It has 400 employees and 10 are calling only, right? And this site uses its connection to headquarters for both internet and PSTN traffic. So that means this Pune location doesn't have any local internet or the local PSTN thing. No, they rely on the Bangalore headquarters. They will take the, like, PSTN connectivity, or I can say uh, the internet connectivity from the Bangalore headquarters, right? That's what it says. This location is connected with Bengaluru using a WAN connection, right? Then we have this Hyderabad location. It says this site has 250 employees and 50 are calling only, right? And this site has its own local internet connection but has not direct PSTN. Okay, so let me log in. As here you can see, under the planning, you will be able to see this network planner. Let me click on this network planner. Okay. Now under this network planner, you can see already created one network planner. Let me just delete it and I'll just start it from scratch. It says persona is also created. Let me delete that persona which I created, because this persona was a custom one. Rest three are the default. As you can see, Teams rooms on Windows, the remote worker and office worker. I'm clicking on all these, but I'm unable to delete because these are the default ones. So first, what I need to do is I can create a network plan. So let me just click add here. It says network plan name. Let's say I'm saying Net Technical Venture Network plan. Okay. Description, that is not mandatory. If you want to add, you can, otherwise you can just leave it. Okay, my network plan is created. Now the next step I have is personas and the network site. So I'll first add the personas. Once I click on this one, I'll click on add, and here I need to give a persona name. Let's say I'm just giving calling only. Users able to make calls only. This is the description. And we have a different permissions: audio, video, screen sharing, file sharing. So depends on your requirements, whatever you wanted to see, you can turn these options on, and then you can just give a different name, and then you can identify, you can check the recommendations, right? So permissions, as I'm using just a calling only, then I can just turn audio on. If I wanted to check the audio as well as video, I can just turn this video option on as well, so that it will create the bandwidth requirement based on these things. So as of now, I'm just creating the audio option that is on because it is calling only, and I'm saying apply. Once I click apply, I'll be able to see this personas as well. Calling only. This is my persona which I created. That's what it says, custom. Then we have this Microsoft recommended, because these three are default: remote worker, office worker, and Teams rooms on Windows, right? So now as I created personas, I created the network plan. That plan, that was just a name. Once I open this network plan, I'll be able to see it says technical venture network plan, 0 site, 0 incomplete, 0 complete. So now I'm going to add the network site. So let me click on this one, add a network site. So here it says network site name, right? So I'm gonna add Bangalore headquarter first, right? That is my site, particular site. Here I want, if you want to give any description, you can give, otherwise you can leave, or let me just add, say, headquarters. Okay, this is my description. Oops. Okay, this is my description, headquarter. Then I need to add network users. In this Bangalore headquarter, I know I'm having 1,000 network users, right? So after that, you have a subnet settings. You can mention it here. Otherwise, as of now, you can just leave it as default. You don't need to add anything, like leave it as 0.0.0.0. You don't need to add anything. But if you have the network settings as well, the subnets, you can add it, right? Different subnets also, even you can add. We have an option for add more here, right? So after that, we have these two things: express route and connected to WAN. So I have discussed about connected to WAN and the internet thing, right? So this is my actually headquarters site. So I need to be turn this option on connected to WAN. And my this Bangalore headquarter has a PSTN connectivity as well, right? So I will turn this option on. But here I have this express route option as well. Express route, what express route will do? It is actually creating a private connection. So once you click on this I button, you can see it says, if you are using express route on your network, turn this on. With express route, you can create private connection between Microsoft 365 data center and your private network, right? So it is just creating a private connection between Microsoft 365 data centers, wherever they are located, and your private network as well. And this express route connection don't go over the public internet. That's why you will be getting a faster speed, more reliability, lower latency, and higher security than typical internet connection. That's what it says. So for this one, let's say I'm just turning it on, express route on, connected to WAN on. Once you click this connected to WAN on, you need to mention the WAN link capacity, right? Let's say you have a 500 Mbps link capacity. And if you want to mention WAN audio queue size, WAN video queue size, you can mention it here. Otherwise, you can just leave it, because you have already added this 500 Mbps, right? Then we have internet egress, right? That means, are we using that internet thing, or what would be the capacity? That is what I need to mention it here. So here, if I click on this one, it is not actually opening up, because this is the first site and this is the headquarters. So that would be the local. This is the first site. Once we create the other site, you will be able to see the different option. That is what we call it as remote option, right? So internet egress local, let's say my internet link capacity is 250 Mbps, right? So Here I have connected WAN and I am also using the PSTN egress. So I can say PSTN would be local, right? Because I am going to use the direct routing. Here you have two options, direct routing and the calling plan. So I am going to use the direct routing option here. So it's just as of now, we just need to check direct routing or calling plan, whatever we are going to use in our network, in our organization. This all depends on the requirements, right? And then click on save. So once you save this one, it says one site is created, Bangalore HQ, right? It has 1,000 users. Then I'll say add another site. I'm going to add another site, that is Pune site, right? This is a, I can say, remote site. So my remote site, this Pune site is actually connected via WAN, and like it is actually taking everything from the Bangalore headquarters, right? So network users on this Pune site, I have 400, right? On that previously, I on the Bangalore headquarter, I had 1,000, right? And 25 were calling. So now 400 network users. Same thing again, subnet, express route. So we are not going to use that, but we need to use that connected to WAN because there is no direct connection. That's why I'm not going to use express route. So connected to WAN, right? WAN link capacity. Let's say on this side, I have a link capacity of 400 Mbps. Now the next thing is internet egress, right? Internet egress, is that a local or a remote? So when I was discussing about on the PowerPoint, I said internet would be remote and the PSTN would be remote as well. Correct. So once I click on this drop down, I'll be able to see the remote site because I have already created one site which is local. So if I click on this remote, you will be able to see it says internet egress point, through which site you wanted to take these things, like take the internet connection point. So once you click on this drop down, you will be able to see your site which you created. That is Bangalore HQ, right? Now I wanted to use the PSTN connectivity from that site as well. So I can click on this one. I can say use VoIP only, local, and the remote. So I'm not going to use VoIP only because this is Pune and I have mentioned I'm going to use the PSTN connectivity here. So I can use remote and then it pops up the option PSTN egress. That would be from Bangalore headquarter, and then I'll click on save. Right. So now I can see my two network sites are created. The third one I need to create, that one was Hyderabad site, right? I can say this is also a remote site, but let's say the branch site. Okay. Network users. So I have 400 network users here. Again, same things, network settings, express route. But this site is not connected to WAN, I can say, right? Or is it connected to WAN? It depends, right? I need to connect it to the WAN, right? Because it is going to create a link. So that is what the WAN link capacity. So let's say I am using 400 Mbps connection here, internet egress and the PSTN egress. So in the PowerPoint slide, I have mentioned I am going to use a local internet connection and no PSTN. I didn't say like I will use the PSTN connectivity through WAN. No, I will be going to use internet connection as local and PSTN as like no PSTN connection on this side as well. Right. So internet egress, that is local. So I need to mention the internet link capacity. So that let's say 200 Mbps, and PSTN egress, I don't want to use local, I don't want to use remote, that would be use VoIP only, right? And then I'll click on save, right? So now all these sites are created, Bangalore headquarter, Hyderabad, and the Pune. All these sites are showing created. Now it says you must be wondering, like we have created all these sites, but it still says planning status as incomplete. If you click on this site, it will show you like whether it's listed as incomplete or complete. That's not something. Why it is saying, it says if it's listed as incomplete, the report will be less accurate, right? But we can change it. If it's showing incomplete, then we can make it change. We can make a change and we can say the planning status should be complete. So if I go to this Bangalore headquarter, it says something as create an address. So once you add this particular address, then this site will show as complete. So if I click on this address, then it says enter a name for your emergency address, right? So let's say I'm just saying test. Okay, country or region, I'm gonna select India. House number, street name, city, town, that is what we need to add it here. So let's say on this house number or the name, I'm just putting it as, let's say, technical venture. Street name, like let's say I'm just putting everything as test. City or town, I need to add Bangalore. Postal code, I'm not sure about that. So let me just check, because postal code would be the correct thing we need to put. So zip codes, let's say I'm gonna add 53068. So I'm just gonna add this one and then save it. Oops, organization name, that is my technical venture, and save it. Now it says address is there, right? I have put everything and click on save. Once I save it, now if I go back to this one here, it says complete, right? You can do the same for all these as well. Let's do it quickly. So for Hyderabad side, I can go to this create address. I can say the same thing, technical venture. Country, I can say India. Name, I can put the same, technical venture, test. City, town, this is Hyderabad, so I can say Hyderabad. Postal code for Hyderabad, I can just add it, Hyderabad postal code 500001, and the name would be the same, technical venture, save it. Right, so this is for Hyderabad, and save it. Now it will also show as complete. Same thing for Pune, we need to do, create an address. Same thing, technical venture, country, India. Here we can say the name, street name, test, city or town, Pune. Let's say what would be the postal code for Pune? 111045 I can put. And organization name, I can say technical venture, and save. So once we create this address on all these sites, it will show as complete status now, right? So now we have added network plan, we have created personas, we have created network sites. Now I need to generate a report, right? For this one, you can click on this link which says report, and then it says start a report. Let me click on this start a report. Report name is mandatory. Let's say technical venture network report, right? You can add the description if you want, otherwise you can leave it. Now you can see this Bangalore HQ, Hyderabad and Pune, it is coming up automatically, and it divides between office and remote workers, not the calling, not the Teams rooms, right? Because this is by default from Microsoft, office workers would be the 80% workers and the remote workers would be 20% workers. If you need to make a change, you can make the change. That is what we are actually going to do, right? So we have in Bangalore headquarters, we have 1,000 users. That's why it is actually uh, divided it between 80% and 20%. Same goes with the Hyderabad, same goes with the Pune. So I'm going to add the calling only persona. That is what I can see, calling only here, calling only in Hyderabad, and the same calling only thing in the Pune as well, right? So in Bangalore headquarter, I had 1,000 out of thousands, I had 25 as a calling only. Now it says minus 25 remaining because I need to deduct this from office work 775. That's why now it says 0. That means now it's good because these are the total users. Total are 1,000 users and 25 of them are calling only, right? Then we have in this one in Hyderabad location and calling only were 10. So I need to remove 10 from here. And in Pune, we have again, oh, I put 400 in both Hyderabad as well as Pune. Okay, oh, that's fine. So let's say calling only has 10 in Hyderabad, and in Pune, I had, let's say, 50. Oh, let's go to Hyderabad. Hyderabad has 50 in our slide. So we can say it should be 250. Oh, how much we had? 320 here, 270, 320, 80. And in Pune, I had 10. So I can remove this 10. So in my slide, I had this Hyderabad location has 250 users, but somehow I have added 400 while creating these sites here, right? So I have these things already now. 775, 225, that is 1,000 users, 400 in Hyderabad, 400 in Pune, right? And then I can click on generate report. So once I click on generate report, it says Bangalore HQ, Hyderabad, and the Pune. Okay, it says, yeah, 400 network users. I mistakenly added. It should be 250 in Hyderabad. Okay, now that's fine. It's just that I have mentioned 250 in PPT. That's fine. So now it says impact would be this one, audio, video, screenshot. So nothing is showing in red. That means everything is fine. Why? Because Microsoft has allowed bandwidth of 30% out of the total bandwidth. That's what it says in the I. Allowed bandwidth shows how much of your overall traffic is reserved for real-time communication. 30% is the recommended threshold, right? Let's say I'm going to use the 5%. Then if I click on run report, it would say something in red. So if I click on this run report, now it says Bangalore HQ impact this one 72, 23, 31. It was using this one, but now it says this thing, right? Now what would be the recommendation? If you want to see the recommendation, then you can click on this particular link which says switch to chart view. Once I click on this link, it says this one for Bangalore HQ. It says we recommend increasing your Microsoft 365 bandwidth as your communication impact is larger than the set level of allowed bandwidth. That's what it says, right? Same thing goes for this Hyderabad as well. We recommend increasing your Microsoft 365 bandwidth as your communication impact is larger, right? For Pune, it says a WAN impact, and it says we recommend increasing your WAN bandwidth as your communication impact is larger, right? This is the Microsoft 365 bandwidth. Here it says you need to increase the WAN bandwidth on this particular Pune location, right? That's how actually we can plan in our network, like how many users we have, how much would be the bandwidth impact, how much bandwidth we are using, right? So that's all about this network planning. This is the first lecture on this Microsoft Teams network planning thing. After that, I'm going to discuss about the Teams users, groups, and all these things one by one in different lectures. I hope you really like this video. Please let me know in the comment section if you need anything, if you have any doubts, if you have any queries, I will definitely answer your queries, right? So if you really like this video, then please hit like, share it, and subscribe it. And please press the bell icon so that you will be able to receive notifications of all my upcoming videos. Thank you.